Nearing 70 this afternoon. Low 60s for the high deserts, mountains upper 30s nearing 40. Much calmer conditions into tomorrow. Temperatures stay right around average, a few degrees above average, 60s and 70s for the rest of the work week into your Valentine's Day holiday and your President's Day weekend. With Southern California's most accurate and dependable forecast, I'm CBS 2 meteorologist Danielle Gersh, KNX 1070 News Radio.
58 degrees in Burbank this morning. Van Nuys has 59, and in Riverside right now sunny and 61.
8:48 at KNX. The defense rests in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial in New York. Some had wondered whether he might testify. The people testifying in their own defense is really rare, and of course he chose not to. The defense only called a few witnesses, both sides optimistic, of course. The prosecution, in their efforts, tried to show a pattern of conduct. Harvey Weinstein has always maintained his innocence and has said that the relationships were consensual.
The head of the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy says he'll spend his own money, if necessary, to protect the last male mountain lion believed to be roaming in the area. Big cat that was killed there was a big cat killed. It had been linked to 9 livestock attacks over a 2-year period. An official with the National Park Service telling KNX he understands the landowner's frustration, but killing the mountain lion wasn't practical.
The depredation is just a short-term solution. Likely another mountain lion would just come over and take over that range, and you could have that problem again.
The cougar, called P56, believed to have fathered at least 4 mountain lion cubs that called the area home.
An estimated 3,000 people went to Angel Stadium to pay tribute to 3 people, members of one family, who died in that helicopter crash in Calabasas.
Among those who filled large sections of Angel Stadium were close and extended friends and literally hundreds of former or current baseball players who were coached by Coach John Altobelli during his 27 years at Orange Coast College, and who knew his wife Carrie and daughter Alyssa. Friend and pastor Eric Ross said Alto, as those close to him called him, had an impact well beyond the diamond, teaching young men he came into contact with lessons beyond the game.
The greatest way to define success is by what you give, not by what you get. And that's what Alto did all the time, was give.
And all 3 of them expounded and lived up to a simple idea.
Any of you that have ever had a chance to intersect with any of those 3 people, you would say your life is a little better and a little brighter.
At Angel Stadium, Pete Demetrio, KNX 1070 News Radio.
State of Texas suing California over the law that bars state-sponsored travel to states that critics say discriminate against LGBT people. The Texas Attorney General says the lawsuit will stop California's effort to, quote, divide the nation. Many states allow adoption agencies to bar some same-sex couples from adopting children.
8:50 at KNX.
Let's update what's happening to our money this morning. And here is Frank Motek.
Good morning. An eventful last couple of minutes here in the financial markets. First of all, this just in, the Federal Trade Commission has just announced it's looking into acquisitions made by the big tech companies, Alphabet, Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft. They say in order to investigate the purpose of acquisitions they made between January 2010 and December 31st, 2019. Been a lot of discussion lately about the big tech companies perhaps getting too big and maybe breaking some of them up. So the Federal Trade Commission now looking into the big acquisitions made by those big tech companies. Turns out Boeing had no commercial aircraft orders in the month of January. Boeing stock moving lower. Of course, Boeing still reeling from the 737 MAX jetliner grounding. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell testifying before Congress right now, talking about the economy, closely monitoring, he says, the coronavirus, its impact on China, and the effect that it could have on global economic growth. President Trump apparently watching the testimony, tweeting a moment ago that when the Fed chair started his testimony, the Dow was up 125 and was heading higher, but has since moved lower. The president's been calling for lower rates. Taking a look at the stock market right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which had been up 130 points at a record high, is up 27. NASDAQ at a new high of 48. The S&P 500 of 10. We check money of 20 and 50. Frank Motek from the HMS Capital Money Desk. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Do you like yourself a little Steely Dan? How about Matchbox 20? We have tickets. Our timeline contest is coming up in 90 seconds. It's 8:51.
At KNX 1070 News Radio, we're not out to promote conservative values or progressive values. We just value the news. Our people work around the clock to find out what's going on and what it means to you and your family. It's news without the noise. KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
This is Vicki Moore. I know, as a parent, how painful it is to hear your child come home from school saying things like, I'm dumb, or I'm never going to be able to go to college, or it's not fair. Difficulties and frustration with homework, constant reminders by teachers to stay focused, underachieving, they can damage your child's self-esteem and their belief in their own ability. If you have a child with ADD, ADHD, or high-functioning autism, it is so much harder for them to excel in school. It really is unfair to the child and their loving parents. But the good news is, it doesn't have to stay that way. Call the Drake Institute of Behavioral Medicine at 800-700-4233. Their highly successful non-drug treatment programs can pinpoint the areas of the brain where the symptoms are coming from and help those areas improve, all without drugs. Call them, 800-700-4233, for a screening consultation at no charge. The number again is 800-700-4233, or visit drakeinstitute.com. It can change your child's life.
Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business in half the resumes. Go to glassdoor.com/hire to find your next hire. Glassdoor.
853 KNX.
That's not the timeline. The first caller at 866-569-1070. To guess the correct year of the following events happened, and you'll win a pair of tickets to see Steely Dan at the Hollywood Bowl June the 8th, and a pair of tickets to see Matchbox 20 at 5 Point Amphitheater September 24th. The number again this morning, 866-569-1070.
It was February. On the moon, astronaut Alan Shepard tried out his golf swing. Back on Earth. On TV, Harry Nilsson's animated special, The Point, aired on ABC.
Years ago, there was a place called the Land of Point. And that was because everything in the Land of Point had one.
It's very important for an actress to have a catchy name, you know?
At the movies, Barbra Streisand had a box office hit with Owl and the Pussycat.
And that sounds kind of classy, don't you think?
And number one on the radio, the Osmonds, One Bad Apple. What year was it?
First caller with the correct year wins a pair of tickets to see Steely Dan at the Hollywood Bowl June the 8th, and a pair of tickets to see Matchbox 20 at 5 Point Amphitheater September 24th. Timeline airs again this afternoon at 5:23.
Long Beach, South 710 at the 405. Crash block in the 2 left lanes, 6 mile backup. Still have a SIG alert in Ontario. Much more in a minute, 8:54.
What's next for the Chargers' former quarterback? Here's Randy Cardoon.
Wearing a white Colts helmet, a pewter Buccaneers helmet. Quarterback Phillip Rivers wants to play at least 2 more seasons in the NFL, and if anyone wants to sign him, it'll be a 2-year minimum deal. He told the LA Times, quote, if we stink it up after 1 year, I'm probably done. If we play really good, they'll probably want to go again. From the Rush Tax 855 IRS Call Sports Desk, Randy Cardoon, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Getting out of quarantine in Riverside County. A report coming up right after CBS News at the top of the hour. It's 8:55.
Brought to you by Seasons in Malibu. Your traffic and the weather together every 10 minutes in the 5s with Jennifer York.
All right, so this is interesting. Now it just popped up that possibly another SIG alert with an overturned rig. So I'm going to list them. They're claiming this is now a 15 north to the 10 west, which is different than the other ones. The other ones are 15 south, the 10 east. We've got the 15 south to the 60 east. That's an overturned box truck hanging over the side. And then we've got the 60 east to the 15 south FedEx truck hanging over. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Just please be careful out there. Let's go to Scott. He's got the Southern California Toyota dealers jam cam on the 710.
And tough getting into Long Beach due to a crash, 710 southbound at the 405, where the 2 left lanes are blocked. A big rig wreck there. The backup starting in around the 105. That's about 6 miles. So getting into Long Beach, you might want to try Long Beach Boulevard or Orange Avenue instead of the 710. Check out the 118 with Desmond.
A couple issues here. First, there's protesters hanging banners on the Tampa overcrossing over the 118, causing a bit of a distraction. But watch out ahead. Stay to the left. There's a box truck westbound 118 in Topanga, blocking the 2 right-hand lanes. Eastbound, just slow and go here from the 405 to the 5.
Let me quickly mention the Ventura Freeway eastbound slam from about Reseda all the way across the 170, split westbound side of the 101 tough from Laurel Canyon to the 405. And then again, it gets a little heavy heading out towards Topanga Canyon. Seasons in Malibu is a world-class luxury addiction and mental health rehab center right here in Southern California. Call Seasons in Malibu at 844-534-HELP or visit seasonsmalibu.com. Remember, it's okay to say you need help. Our next report, more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Sunny today, temps should be in the low 70s. Really windy, though. That wind advisory in effect until at least noon. Currently downtown LA, it is 58 degrees.
Big rigs and planes affected by the wind. Tell you more in minutes. 8:57.
Hey, it's Mike Simpson here to get you a perfect smile so you're not embarrassed anymore or covering up, because you don't need that every day. You need Cunning Dental. Their new teeth in one-day procedure can really change your outlook. You wake up, you smile. You're at work, you're confident. It's a simple process. They do it while you sleep. It really does just take a few hours. Right now, bring in an old set of dentures, get a $1,000 voucher on more secure ones, or go ahead and apply it to permanent teeth. Plus, you get a free sleep. $500 value. Call 855-2-CUNNING. It's 855-2-CUNNING.
Do you have a tax problem, owe the IRS or state back taxes, or have unfiled tax returns?
Hi, Patrick here with Tax Defense Partners. If you're in trouble with the IRS, don't wait any longer to resolve your tax issue. You're incurring penalties and interest every day.